Hey everybody, it's Jang here with a look at a LEGO Ninjago set for 2015. This is the Ninja DBX. Comes with 756 pieces. The DBX is basically a form of Ninja Mobile Command Center. Big old truck, almost kind of looks like a huge off-road van. Interesting build with the wheels, with the spinner-like element and the minifig hat on the edges there. Got definitely a lot of elements of kind of the temples as far as the aesthetics, some of the shapes that they put together to make this look like it's a home base sort of thing, even though it is on wheels and even though it is going to be traveling around. It's actually very hollow from the top. It's fairly open up there. It doesn't have a full roof on it, but we'll take a look at what that's all about and why it's like that. First up front, you've got the main cockpit for driving the thing around, and this is a transparent black version of the windscreen piece that was first released, I believe, on Benny's spaceship. And inside of there you'll find spots for two folks to sit. So you've got basically a pilot and co-pilot, or the one in the back can be doing navigation or operating some of the scanners and stuff like that. And there's plenty of room around there, so obviously this is much larger than it needs to be. And that's really to accommodate all this stuff back here that can be detached. Put down these ramps back here. I guess they don't really go all the way down, but all of this can be just pulled straight off. The entire rear assembly pulls right off, slides down, and then you leave that behind. And we'll look at this by itself, because there's a lot to see there, but this becomes your new kind of little pursuit truck. No, there's nothing little about it, but this allows you to bring out a weapons system. You can use this as a turret up above. It's got just two of the spring-loaded shooters, and now it kind of looks like a really oversized, futuristic semi-truck rig, but it's just completely hollow and open back here. All this now opens up, so this comes up. This part of the wall right here opens, and then this just folds on open all the way like so. You can bring these side ramps down, and then it's almost like you got a dojo in there. Look at that. It's a whole building that you've just opened up. And over here, there's a bunch of computer screens and some control panels that have a bunch of information about, let's see, you got weapons, you've got a target location, information about one of the mechs, got some tools for working on stuff. Nicely detailed area around here. This is kind of the training area, I would say, is what it looks like. It's also a spot where you can store and keep Kai's bike that's included with this set. We'll look at that in a minute as well, but you can keep that in there. There's enough space for it. And then there's also this kind of a satellite, it looks like a satellite tower, communications tower, but up on the top, that's actually a detachable flyer for Nia to use. So you can remove this and just use it for flying around for quick little jaunts through the air. So you would sit right there because you can hold on to the handlebars, and it's got a pair of stud shooters, so it's actually got weapons that will physically shoot things. And there's just the rest of what that looks like from the other side now when it's fully opened up. There's the closer look at Kai's bike. Nothing too new and special about this really, except for just the sticker. A little bit different build there, bringing the katanas down the sides. Allows it to actually lean over more than the standard build does, just because of how far up those pegs are. So you can get a little bit of an action look there, but it's a little bit harder to get it to balance. You need to be on a perfectly flat surface if you want this to be balanced just straight up and down. This here is an Anaconda gateway, and you saw a little bit of an image of that on one of the computer screens inside the DBX. This shows you where you're going, but you kind of have to use your imagination and add your own stuff for what's behind this and what's in addition to this. This is just kind of the front door, just the fascia for the adventure that you're about to get into. So this is a spot where kids would need to add in things from other sets, or just add in your own terrain stuff, you know, bring in some boxes and stacked up books and stuff to create some terrain behind this to really flesh it out a little bit if you don't have more sets to go with this. Here are the first of the figures here. Left to right, it's Kai, Nia with a lot of upgrades. Then you've got Sensei Garmadon, and on the right, they call that a mini robot. But it's not very mini, is it? Being that it's taller than the regular figures. There's a lot of new stuff going on here, so do hit pause if you want to see a little bit more carefully the build of the robot, and also checking out the prints on these torsos. Let me take off some of this stuff. You see, it's cool that they show the serpent tattoo on the back of Garmadon a little bit. This alternate face for Nia looks pretty normal, right? But when we turn around to see what that main one was, whoa, crazy high-tech mask. A little bit steampunk though. A little bit of the steampunk style goggles there. I think is just a little bit of influence of that. That really nice new gold color that is being used on the minifigs. It looks really good. And just serious faces all the way across, and good prints that go through the torso, hips, and legs. On the bad guy side, you get Choprai on the left. In the middle is the new Pythor, and on the right is Kapow. These are all some interesting figures for their own reasons. I very much like how they've upgraded the serpent styled figures. They just look way more serious now. I actually prefer Choprai over Pythor here, even though Pythor is larger. I just feel like they give him such a good print on the front with the copper, and I also really like his armor piece. But Pythor is also interesting. You kind of have to remove the head to fully see the print on the front of his torso there. And I got the tattoo kind of markings going all the way down there. Got the Anacondrae blade over on the right for Kapow. That's a multiple color single plastic piece. And let's take a look at these prints from the backs as well. No alternate faces, so nothing to see there. But I do want you to see the back of the print on Choprai, just to be complete. So that covers the major features of this set. The highlights here for me are definitely the minifigures. I feel like it's just a really good range of them, and there are some pretty high quality prints there. I also like the little robot. I think the DBX itself, the vehicle, looks cool in its normal form, but once you separate it out, now this is just my personal opinion, once you separate it out, it just doesn't feel like it has enough there. The truck part that's left behind is pretty empty, and the cabin is pretty empty. I don't appreciate the fact that you need to separate it out in order to use weapons. I wish you could shoot from this thing just from the truck itself without having to deploy Nia's little flyer. And I feel like the command center section, the building part, just feels kind of a little bit empty to me. I wish there was more going on inside of there. There's that big open kind of plateau of space that's not really used for much. So again, just my personal opinion, I'm a little bit feeling let down by this set. It's not as cool as I thought it would be. Be sure to let me and the other viewers know what you think about the set though, including if you completely disagree with my opinion and you love this set. That's all good. As always, I've got a lot more videos to bring you, so I'll be talking to you again very soon.